Welcome to Baxter Yoga. I'm at the Oakland Yoga Studio today. Please come check the studio out the next time you're in town. Don't forget you can now order my book, Yoga for Healthy Aging, as well as Yoga for Healthy Aging t-shirts from my website. The book, of course, is co-authored with Nina Zolotov. If you decide to order t-shirts, order up a couple sizes. They tend to run a little bit on the small side. So today we continue our exploration of transferring to the ground and up from the ground in different ways. And today we're going to be looking at using downward dog as actually going through fig leaf forward fold to down dog as a transition to the ground, and then using it in reverse to come back up. When I posted the kneeling transition, one of our viewers and followers mentioned that they use down dog as a transition. And if you remember back many videos ago, when I shared with you the fractured sun salute, in part 2 of that, we actually come into a forward bend and then walk out to down dog and then come into a different pose. But that is a way to get down closer to the ground, and we're going to try that today. So you're going to need a sticky mat, and I'm going to have you stand near one end. And using the fig leaf forward folding technique in particular, especially for my older students, so that the lower back doesn't have to round to get down. Now this does require the ability to bend the knees a little bit, so let's give it a try. So we're going to bend the knees, hinge the hips, and come down with a neutral spine. Then bring your fingertips on the floor, very gently walk your hands out to the down dog distance. So, you might actually push back to down dog if that feels good for you. And then from here, for a moment at least, your knees will lightly come down to your sticky mat, and then you can immediately swivel to the side and bring your buttocks down, and then swing into cross-legged position. So that could get you down to cross-legged position. Of course, if your knees are healthy, you could just sit back on your heels in Vajrasana or Hero's Pose, Virasana, as alternatives. So if I wanted to come out of this and get back up to standing, I could swing around to hands and knees, make sure my hands are out a little bit, and then coming up into the down dog shape for a moment, maybe with bent knees, begin to carefully walk the hands back towards the feet. So I want to get my heels down, keep the knees and hips hinged and bent so my spine stays pretty neutral, and then I can use my legs to come back up and out. Let's try that again one more time just so you can see how that feels for you. So on the exhale, bend the knees, hinge the hips, keep the spine pretty neutral, and then walk the hands out towards down dog. Maybe even take the down dog for a moment. And then on an inhale, very lightly bring your knees down. So if that's a sensitive area, you're being mindful of that. And then swing around using your hands to help you and come into cross-legged position. Maybe changing the cross of your shins the second time. All right, to come out of that, we're going to swivel to the side. We're going to carefully come to hands and knees for a moment. On an exhale, come into your down dog with straight legs or bent knees. And then begin to walk the hands gently back. You don't want to clomp back. Get your heels on the ground. Get that spine nice and neutral. And then use those legs to come up and out. So this is another way to transition from standing to sitting, or from sitting to standing, right? Maybe you're down on the ground, you got down there okay earlier in practice, and now it's like, how am I going to get back up? So if you find that kind of works nicely for you, use that as a way to transition from the earth to standing, or from standing back down to the earth. Play around with that in your home practice this week, see what you think. All right, remember you can follow me online at baxterbell.com, as well as the blog site Yoga for Healthy Aging. And you can also find longer asana practices on the practice channel at the website yogayouonline.com. Until the next time, thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.